the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the iSplash Retro Kart Series fires things off. Race number 6, season number 2, just over the halfway point. We have had ourselves 4 separate race winners, only one Pete. Driver to victory lane, Johnny Hamby, snatching his second win last week. When we hit the track at the Milwaukee Mile, will he be able to go for 2 in a row? We'll find out shortly here from Road America, nestled just outside of Elkhart Lake, right here in Cheesehead Country. That's right, Wisconsin, hosting a great slew of drivers here tonight. As you already see, drivers down there putting in some hot laps here in qualifying. But how you doing? How you feeling out there in TV Land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, David the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. And speaking of trackside, what do you say we go ahead and see how these drivers are getting around this almost 4-mile, 14-turn road course? We'll get some of that timing scoring over to the left-hand side of your screen. There you see, sitting top of the speed charts here in this qualifying session. George Sandman of the '06 machine, sitting top of the speed charts at 152.22 is the quick time here for Sandman. Marcellus Bruni, always fast. The driver in that blonde bullet, number 61, sitting second on the speed charts. There's Johnny Hamby, quick as always. Rick Raven right there as well. Darrell Weininger, Bill Smitham, Christopher Hamlin, Austin Dabbs, Neil Kenyon, and Chris Brown round out your top 10 here in qualifying. Good run there for Jason Crumley. Needs to pick up a little bit more pace than the one of Stuart Wright. Yet to put in a qualifying time with just under 60 seconds remaining. It's going to be hard for him to even lay down a lap. So as the music begins to fade, time begins to fade off of the stopwatch. Down to the final 40 seconds here in qualifying. Who's going to take that pole position? Can anybody do anything with Sandman, as he has got himself almost a 2/10 advantage? And with nobody being able to start a lap, well, looks like maybe Darrell Weininger might have an outside chance at this one, but with only 20 seconds to go, it does indeed look like Sandman will walk away with the pole position here tonight. So we're going to head trackside here in just a brief moment for your national anthem right after a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And back trackside after the flyover. Drivers ready to hit and head to the starting grid here tonight. Gonna be just a few moments away as they make their way through final pre-race inspection, and we get ready to fire things off for 25 laps of open wheel action in these Lotus 79 machines. George Sandman taking the pole position just moments ago in your qualifying session. He will lead the field to the green flag. Can Sandman find a way to put the kids to bed early here tonight from Road America, one of the fast road course aces out there on track. So indeed, look for Sandman to have quite a good run here tonight. And it looks like a handful of drivers have made their way through pre-race inspection. So what do you say we get a little closer to your field? There you can see them all behind the pace car, ready to roll off here tonight from Road America. It's going to be a hot and heavy battle between all of these drivers. Elevation changes. There you can see a little layout of the course up there with the boss man in the flag stand. Our good buddy Al Smith back for flagman duties here tonight. But switching things up, he was in the booth, gonna jump in the Mustang tonight as your pace car driver. And it looks like just about 2 or 3 drivers yet to make it to their starting spots. But we are moments away from firing things off here tonight from Road America for race number 6 with the Ice Splash Retro Kart Series. And just like that, the bells begin to ring. You know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup here from Road America, starting inside row number 1. Your pole sitter inside of the Texaco Havoline Big Kmart 06. George Sandman will bring them to the green flag. Just to his outside, fast as always inside of that 15 RCA machine. You've seen him up front, you see him again. Johnny Hamby will try to go back to back here at Road America. Marcellus and Rick back in row number 2. 2 quick familiar faces near the front of this field. Once again, Darrell Weininger and Bill Smith back in row number 3. Row number 4 here tonight from Road America. Inside row number 4, starting from that 7th position. He's been on the verge of victory lane multiple times this season. Will Hamlin finally break through here from Road America? Austin dabs into the Texas native. Gonna try to do the 2-step all the way up north and see if he can't shake things down and leave this field with an achy breaky horn. Back in row number 5, the 83 of Jason Crumley. 41 of Neil Canning. Chris Brown and Stuart Wright finish out the field. Here's tonight's race. 79 drivers vying for a Shepherd's field. Gonna work their way around the second portion of this track, and we're gonna get set to drop the hammer. We're gonna get set and ready to go. Racing here very, very shortly. No full course cautions. We're going to see local yellows only. Full road course rules in effect here tonight for the Wisconsin Grand Prix. 25 laps around this 4-mile track. Who's got what it takes to walk away with that checkered flag? We'll find out here very shortly. Sandman and Handy going to bring the field through the final corner. I do believe this is the final corner. We've kind of lost track for a moment there, but I do believe this is the final corner, so we'll see the drivers. Oh no, this is actually the back side of the track. This is coming into, I believe this is coming down the backstretch and in towards Canada Corner, turn 13, and your final corner just around the bend. We are just around the corner. From Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, stand up, let's go! Green flag racing here from one of the biggest tracks these drivers are going to have to tackle this season. You're going to have to be on point. Concentration is a must. There is no lack of focus around this tricky, technical, high-speed 14-corner road course here. That is Road America. George Sandman going to let the pace car get away just a little bit as the music's going to begin to fade away. Driver going to come through The final corner, pace car ready to duck off. We're ready to fire things off, and away we go. Green flag flies as Sandman nails the loud pedal up over the hill. And we are officially racing in America. Already you see just 25 laps here tonight. Handy going to take that second position without too much of a battle. Marcelo sprinting right there, sitting in third. Rick Raven not letting those drivers get away. Single file all the way through the field. Austin Dams right there, losing a little ground on the restart. Going to keep that 8th position, but is going to lose a little bit of time to the guys in front of him. Already a 1-second deficit for Dams back in 8th position. We're going to stay right here as we got a battle for a pass. Here we go. Raven down to the inside. He's going to look to make that move on Booming, and he's going to stuff him in the corner. Will pick up the spot now, looking to work over Raven. All over John second position. Will he be able to get by and try to challenge Sandman at the front, who's starting to step it out? 3/4 of a second advantage here on this opening lap for Sandman inside of Texaco. Now the lead. Big K, 06. As drivers come through the back side of the track, we'll get the timing and scoring up here in just a brief minute. Let everybody make their way around and get in an official lap here for the Wisconsin Grand Prix. 25 miles to crown the Cheese and King. We're going to get it. Previous race winners all in your top 4 positions, dominating the podium as we work our way around the final corner. Driver's going to make that uphill climb once again in lap number 1. Will go in the bag. We'll get a little better look over here. Up over the crest, and there it is, right across the start finish line. One back in the bag, 24 now to go. Flag racing left to be had here. Look at Raven. He is all over. He is looking for a position. Let's jump on board here as the battle continues to heat up. On board now with that 7 machine. Only driver to pick up a position here tonight. He's the only one moving through this field. Everybody still stuck right where they qualified. Marcellus Grooming going to give up that 3rd spot. Fall back to 4th. Andy not letting Sandman get away, but also not walking away from 3rd place runner on board right now with the driver inside of the 7 machine. Busy hands on the wheel here at Road America. You see multiple elevation changes, multiple different, that's pretty much the same thing. Very different corners. You've got longer sweeping corners. You got that quick kink that you just got to flip the wheel a little bit to make your way around. A few of them resemble many different corners across the many different tracks utilized by those Formula 1 machines. Heavy braking as Raven closes in. Not going to quite get there as Andy and Sandman step on the gas, and up out of the corner they roll. Great few corners right there. Great section. Oh, a little bit of a slide on the brakes as they come around the final corner back up the hill. Lap number 2 now in the bag as Sandman steps away. We'll jump back outside of the car. Let's go check some action around the track. As it looks like Chris Brown, the 37 of Chris Brown, indeed has some trouble here tonight for Chris Brown, and he's going to head directly to pit road. While we've got some time and a little lull in the action, what do you say we go back and check the Eye Splash replay? What happened to Christopher Brown? There you can see the 37 Cobra tires. Driver into the corner on the brakes, and just, whoop, there it is. Around he goes. That's going to pretty much do it. That's going to be it. Oh, up over and into the gravel trap. That is never good. And never good to beach the car, and we'll jump back out front. Live once again with your race leaders. Johnny Handy still trying to track down Sandman at the front. Sandman losing a little bit of time these final 2 laps, or these past 2 laps, I should say, losing a little bit of ground, had the race lead up over that 3/4 of a second mark, and now he sits back in the second position. Rick Raven in third, Marcellus Bruning back in fourth, rounding out your top 5 as they run the 42 of Daryl Weininger. Crumley gonna have an issue here tonight as well. The 83 machine has a little bit of a struggle. He's gonna have a moment out there. Let's go back. Let's check the replay. What happened here with Crumley? Oh, and the Thrustmaster Lotus 79 machine gonna go mowing the yard. Send the invoice to the track. I don't think you're going to get paid. All the landscaping done professionally here, not by professional drivers, and that's going to be a little bit of a moment for Crumley to overcome out of the final corner. He's going to have some troubles and some struggles, but your top 4, this is where the battle is. This is where the action is at. 4 drivers all tucked up with each other, all within 1.5 seconds of the race lead. Really 1.5 seconds, I mean, that's really nothing in the grand scheme of things. In road course racing, I mean, one missed corner, you're going to give up an easy 1/2 second, if not more. So as everybody's still bunched up here at the front of the field, tell you what, let's go back. Let's check in with Austin Dabbs. Dabbs trying to run down that 3M Scotch target. 82 of Christopher Hamlink, who's moved up 1 position, looking for some more here tonight from the track, as both Crumley and Brown on the pit road once they're going to fix up some damage on the undercarriage of their Lotus 79s and get back out on track. Unfortunately, Brown listed 2 laps down, and it's going to be hard for him to gain not just 1, but both of those laps back without any caution flags flying. He's going to need drivers to have a little bit of trouble, as Neil Canning, almost on cue, has a little bit of a moment. He'll head back in the right direction now, though. A little bit of a stumble there for the 41 as he runs in the 9th position. Back up front, things heating up once again. We'll jump back outside of the car, watch the battles unfold here down through the heat. Backstretch coming up for these drivers. Everybody going to try to line up a pass here for Canada Corner, but nobody going to be able to race that. Oh, no, we were completely wrong where we were. We were coming up the final corner across the start finish line down into turn number 1. We roll. Everybody continues the chase. The Sandman at the front of the field, 1/2 second advantage as Sandman still trying to step away. Drivers through turn number 3. There you can see them all coming around this middle section of the course, and they'll head down towards turn number 5. You know, turn 5 right here, this can be a deceiving corner. Downhill braking zone into the corner, back up the hill into turn number 6. And the crest of that hill, it can really catch you off if you're not paying attention. The car can get a little loose under braking coming up over the hill, the crest of the hill. The elevation change right there can throw these cars for a fit. Everybody doing well so far as we work our way through turns 8, 9, and 10. Down into Canada Corner, we roll. Handy still trying to track down Sandman. Marcellus Bruning able to take the position away from Rick Raymond, who's going to fall back into that 4th position right where he qualified once again. There's a lap around the track watching after the drivers at the front. And is that 7 machine starting to pull a little bit of strategy? You got to ask yourself. He was right there battling for that 2nd position and not just lost 1 spot. Lost a lot of ground here. He's going to fall just about 3 seconds off of your race leader. So is he trying to save a little tire now? Maybe extend this first stint to have much fresher tires. Chiefs, strategist, team engineers all getting together, huddled around the pit boxes, trying to figure out where they will be calling their driver to pit lane. Marcellus Bruni going to look to the inside, not going to have the pass through the corner. He's going to have to set that up, but a great run. He turns 5 and 6 here for Bruni. He closed in, just unable to really get there and complete that pass. As we're going to go on board, let's take a look inside of the cockpit at the driver putting in work behind the wheel in the office. Sitting pretty in second, qualified second. Johnny Hamby making his way around the track. Great little look at just how busy these drivers are in these Lotus 79 machines. You can see them working on the wheel. No real sawing going on here, just nice little, I want to call it a twitch of the wheel, not even a flick, because I mean, really, it's the roughness of the course that you're seeing these drivers have to back and forth a little bit with their hands. Hamby, one of the drivers, allowing us to put this great GoPro turn 3 camera on board here tonight. Another driver sporting one of our cameras, the 82 of Christopher Hamlink. Here's the driver sitting just outside of your top 5. Hamlink sits in 6th. Let's see how busy he is behind the wheel. Not missing any of the action up front as drivers begin to separate themselves. Tell you what, why don't we go ahead and head up front? Let's go back up front here. Top 3 drivers stepping away from 4th place, Rick Raven, who's back just about 2.3 seconds back now. He'll get that time and turn back up to the left-hand side of your screen for you. There you go. Take a little look-see there. You can find your favorite driver, figure out where they're running here tonight, just like we do in the production booth. Watching race leader George Sandman. He's just quick. I mean, we're watching these lap times. He's able to keep himself just a few hundredths of a second faster lap after lap. So, looks like race management now being had at the front of the field as they continue to stretch things out over Rick Raven, who is just about 2.5 seconds back from Marcellus Bruni, almost 4 seconds back from your race leader, as Bruni's starting to struggle with a little bit of a grip. We'll have 18 laps remaining here from Elkhart Lake at Road America. Which one of these drivers is going to capture the flag and who's going to finish out the podium? Find out in a short 18 laps. Right along with us here in the Turn 3 Racing Network broadcast booth. We do appreciate each and every one of you stopping by. These drivers surely appreciate all of the comments and all of the love out there. So while you're here, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Help us out over on the Twitch side. So if you haven't already, show these drivers some love, give them a follow, drop that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back. Each and every time you stop by, when you're sliding in just to say hey, dropping by to catch some great racing action. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. And we hit a milestone earlier this week. Big shout out to all of of our subscribers, all of our fans across all of the different leagues and series that we have the pleasure and opportunity of working with. We hit that 2,700 subscriber mark. We are still rising. We are still on our way. And we do appreciate each and every one of you that has helped us along the way to get to where we are here today, right at Road America, the iSplash Retro Kart League. It's now just 17 laps to go. 8 laps in the bag, and drivers continue to try to chase down your full center George Sandman. And this time, Sandman not able to really walk away the way that he was at Bell Island. I believe it was Bell Island. We'll have to take a look here in just a moment and catch that stat. Trying to ensure that we are not giving you fake news out there, you know. Gotta make sure we're giving you the right information. Into the corner of the 61, deep into the corner. Of that time, he's going to lose another 2 tenths through that corner. So Bruning slowly fading out of the picture, and there you can see that advantage now about 5 to 6 car lengths over Bruning. So tough little trouble through one corner, and then you can see you could watch the distance grow. Your race leader in third place runner Marcel is rounding out the podium. Walking away at 7 seconds back to fourth place runner Rick Rabin. Darrell Weininger rounds out your top 5. Well, we're here while we're at it. I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and let's put those driver car numbers out there. Everybody working their way around the track. It looks like one driver having a little bit of trouble. That's going to be Neil Caney. Caney having some issues in that 41 machine. He's going to get headed back into the right direction. As we are walking on the door of 15 to go, 10 laps in our back pocket and leading every single one of them. The old pole sitter George Sandman in control tonight. Pit stops. Maybe decide who walks away with the race win. Marcellus Bruning right there waiting in the wings, ready to pick up some pieces and scoot his way to victory lane, but he was losing some ground. Taking a look off of the right side, just over the gearbox, looking back at Johnny Hamby, who continues to try to run down your race leader, but to no avail. Hamby going to stay stuck in that second position as we jump back outside the corner. Once again, 15 to go this time around from Road America. Traffic coming in the break here as Sandman going to run up on him. Johnny Handy had an opportunity to pass the able to make the move happen. Just not quite enough to really pounce and take Van. Position away from Sandman, who stays at the front of the field and takes go Hamlin. Big K. 06. Sandman looking to lead. Yes, every lap here as he's led every lap so far. See up there, top the right-hand side of your screen, we do have that track map available for you. So it's going to be a long way around the track before Fanman is going to have to deal with any traffic. And that is the opportunity that Hamby needed. And he's still able to keep himself just about a half a second behind. So Hamby did indeed pick up some time. Starting to stretch his legs again, pull the gap back. And I mean, I hate to call a race so quickly, but I don't know. That 06 has been unloaded here at Road America. I mean, a happy hour, he was blazing fast. One of the quickest cars all night. Going to be headed into the qualifying session. Over, well, just about 2 tenths, 1.8, so right on the cusp of being 2 tenths of a second faster than his competitor. I don't want to say it hasn't translated to race pace. He's lost a lot of gap too. Regained it, gains it, loses it, so we're thinking here possibly managing those tires. Stepping out a little bit, relaxing. Let's hit it hard again and relax again. Road course racing, a little bit of a different beast. It's an old saying, it's kind of a, I don't want to call it an old saying, but it's an obvious saying. Finish first. You must first finish. If you find yourself in the grass, you're probably not going to be able to make the pass. You're probably not going to be on the grass. So as obvious as it may sound, clear as it could be, consistent lap staying on the track is going to be much faster and much better than having a lights-out lap time, and then 2 laps later, you're in the gravel trap, giving up 3-4 seconds at a time. So consistency definitely. Road America, you're watching Wisconsin Grand Prix. We have had drivers come to pit road this latest time around. It looks like Neil Kane coming in for a scheduled pit stop. So that's going to give us a measuring stick for your pit road delta here tonight from Road America. It looks to be right around that 50-second mark. Looks like we may have a second driver out here tonight. The one of Stuart White never. The power unit fired up and not hit the stern grid here tonight, so Stewart out very late. Austin Dabbs in the two is going to have some issues, and Dabbs is going to go around, hit a Jersey barrier, and that is going to a close. Dabbs going to hit pit road and then back to the hauler. And continue. Green flag racing here from Road America. 13 laps to go. 12 when we cross the line this time around. 10 drivers on track with 7 left on the road. He's doing all he can to try to keep himself on the line. Still over a minute out front from your race leader, so I'm not quite sure how this front of field is going to catch up to Smitham to put him a lap down unless Smitham has some issues here. What do your race leaders do on the bottom corner? Does anybody come to pit road? Oh, looks like a little bit of inside of your screen. Raven in 7, he pulls the trigger. He wants pit road. Here comes Johnny Hamby down into turn one. Sandman think. I like the move. I like the pressure. Hamby is there. Will he make an attempt? Will he make an opportunity to get around the race leader and grab the top spot? In turn number 6, we roll. Your top 3 have absolutely yarded the field. Almost a 23-second advantage from bringing it back to the pick up a position or two throughout the course of tonight's race. Continuing to watch this battle at the front of the field. Hamby not letting Sandman rest one bit. Corner after corner, lap after lap. In the side mirrors is Hamby, and there it is. He's going to pull the pit road. Marcellus Rooney gonna call it as well. Both second and third place drivers to pit lane this time around. What will your race leader do? He's got to go Lewis Hamilton style here. He's going to have to go hammer down. You can see him already right there clipping a little bit of the grass, overstepping the curbing just a little. But playing it safe. Luckily not overstepping the abilities of the car on these older tires. He's going to stay fired up and heading down the mid-stretch portion of the track. Heading down into turns 4 or 5. We'll come through the track and around towards Canada Corner here very shortly. Tight left-hand corner here into Canada Corner and around the back stretch we roll the other 6. Now Texaco Heavily, Big K, Dirt Devil, Lotus 71 of George Sandman, trying to pick up a little pace here, trying to gain some time, extend the fuel run. The life on the tires has got to be screaming. Taking a look at drivers that have already been to pit road, looks like Johnny Hamby was able to stay out front of Marcellus Green. There you can see George Sandman. He's going to go ahead and bring it to pit road. Call over the radio, box as Sandman brings his car to a crawl. A slow 44-mile-an-hour long front stretch here at Road America. So Sandman is going to turn a good stop and keep himself out front. Can Hamby pick up the time with the undercut? Only a 1-lap difference. But when he came to pit road, as Weininger gonna peel off and head to pit lane, so Darrell will not officially take a lap lead, and here we go. This is gonna be close. No 6 moving. Here comes Hamby. Not gonna beat him off of turn number 1. And Sandman is going to get out of pit road and up to speed before Johnny Hamby can get there. And it looks like he did exactly what he set out to do on that lap alone. Out in fresh air with no pressure. Sandman able to pick up some time. Race advantage now over that 2-second mark. Well done by the man showing the way. George Sandman out front by almost 2 seconds. Johnny Hamby, man on the screen, sitting back in second. Third place belongs to the Blonde Bullet. AWB 61 of Marcellus, bringing Rick Raven retakes the fourth position. We'll take a look at this number 7 machine as he works his way up the crest of the hill and in 3 turns. Number 5, 6, and 7, Darrell Weiner, you're going to lose a handful of positions. He'll drop outside of your top 5 with extending the life of the tires. And it's been a fast-paced race here. Let's make no mistakes about it. The drivers putting in lap times under 2 minutes here in this 4-mile course. Just think about it. Can you go 4 miles in 2 minutes? 4 miles. I bet if you try it on your local interstate, I bet you better not get caught by the po-po, because they're going to give you more than a pit road penalty. You'll probably be heading out of the car into the back of the cruiser, but fortunately enough, that's why drivers hit the track to try to lay down these fast laps. We're going to take a look at the timing and scoring here in just a second and see who's turning in the quickest laps of them all out there tonight. Last time around, Marcellus Bruning almost 0.4 of a second faster than Johnny Hamby. As we'll have to wait for your race leader to complete this lap to find out what kind of lap times he's truly running. But you can tell, you can see, Hamby has been able to close that distance and close it fast. Green flag pit cycle coming to an end just 2 laps ago, and Hamby was over 2 seconds back. He's now back to within just a tick off of a half a second. So Hamby is there. He has the pace. Looking for his second win in a row. Can he be the first back-to-back driver? Can he be the only driver with 3 race wins? Only driver right now with 2 race wins. So Hamby looking to separate himself and assert a little dominance in those point standings. So as we head through some of the final few corners, the backside of the track and into the final corner, let's give you a little bit of a house cleaning, a little bit of driver highlights and spotlights. We started tonight's race with 12 drivers, still 9 out there on the track. Neil Kenny, Austin Dabbs, and Stuart Wright all out of the races. We've got a battle for the race lead. Battle for the race lead. Wheel to wheel into turn 1. Hamby on the outside. They touch it. Over Hamby goes. Oh no. Hamby gonna go for a ride and not the fun way. Oh no. More importantly, well, I don't want to say more importantly, we got to make sure that Hamby's okay. Contact between Hamby and race leader George Sandman sent Hamby for a flight, but it allowed Bruning to close into under a second. He was just around 2.5 seconds back. So a second and a half loss right there with that contact into the first corner. Contact between race leader George Sandman and the now on pit road. Outside of your top 5, Johnny Hamby. That's it. Looks like crew chief is slamming. And oh, there goes the clipboard. He's going to have to replace that one. Hamby's not very happy here tonight as he'll finish somewhere around that 7th or 8th position when it all shakes out here tonight. Tough break for Hamby, who has been fast all night long, closing in on the race leader, trying to take the top spot away, but unfortunately not able to pull off the pass without contact, and he bore the brunt of that one. Johnny Hamby listed out of the race. Back to house cleaning. 12 drivers started the race. We're now down to just 8 with 7 momentarily left on the lead lap. We'll go down to just 6 drivers now as Bill Smitham remains final driver on the lead lap. How hard is Bruning willing to push this, though? We've seen Bruning waiting in the wings in the background, just kind of biding some time. The contact between Sandman and Hamby has closed the distance, and he is there. But how much does that weigh on the mind of the driver inside of the cockpit as we go around the track here on a lap with Marcellus Bruning trying to close in on your race leader downhill left-hander? Not able to really close the distance there through turns 5, 6, and 7. A little bit of a slide. You can hear him had to jump out of the gas mid-corner there. A little bit of a slide out of the rear tires for Marcellus Bruning. He's been quick. He's just lacked a little pace compared to your race leader. We'll see what the lap time says this time around, and if Bruning was able to gain some time, or if he's just safe. Back outside of the car again, we go uphill one more time. We'll cross the line with just 6 laps to go. 20 miles of open wheel Lotus 79 action still coming your way here with the Ice Splash Retro Kart League season number 2, race number 6. And it looks like a previous race winner will be heading back to victory lane. Who's going to do it? Who's going to climb out of the car and shake the champagne in victory lane? So as the entire field spread out a little bit, race leaders running into lap traffic, and there you can see Chris Brown stepping out of the way. Bruning may be wanting those corners back, gave up a little bit of time as they ran up on that lap traffic. Sandman was able to navigate his way around with a little bit more ease and open that gap back to a 1-second advantage. We'll come across the backside of the track into the final few corners. We roll, and Bruning still trying to chase down Sandman. We're going to stick right here at the front of the field, as this is the only battle for position. We'll cross the line. The 5 fingers go in the air. Just 5 miles remain here from Road America, trying to chase him down. His Bruning, but not having any success right now. He has been able to close it into under a 1-second disadvantage once again. But we've seen this earlier. We've seen this in the first stint of the race where George would kind of get on the gas and work a little bit of a gap, give up some time to let second place driver close in a little bit, and then he would get back to hammer time mode. As we see here, we mentioned it moments ago, that advantage was under a second, right at about that 3/4 of a second mark, and here it is. Sandman stepping it out back over a 1-second advantage for race leader as we go into the final few corners here for lap number 20. And we'll have just 4 to go this next time around. 16 miles for Bruni to try to find a little more pace, trying to find a key area on the track that he can close in on your race leader. No other battles really to speak about, but let's give you a few driver highlights and spotlights. Let's go check out this guy right here, sitting just outside of your podium position, sitting in that fourth spot, Christopher Hamlick. Nice quiet night inside of his target 3M Scotch 82 machine. Hamlink up 3 positions. He's going to be listed as your biggest mover of the race. Oh, scratch that. Chris Brown overtaking Johnny Handy. As Handy is down and out of this race, Chris Brown going to get the most positions gained throughout the course of tonight's race. Brown sitting 4 positions in front of where he qualified, all the way back at 11th, ending up shotgun Sally here tonight from Elkhart Lake is Brown. So a big tip of the cap to Brown, just persevering out there. Just it takes a lot of grit to be behind the 8 ball and continue. And as coverage continues, we'll jump back to the front of the field as we cross the stripe. This next time around, we'll have just 3 laps to go. Drivers through turns 5, 6, and 7. Bruning still hot on the trail. And there it is, under 3/4 of a second advantage now as Sandman maybe... I mean, I want to think that he's playing a little strategy here. It's just too tough to tell. I mean, it's really too tough to tell if he's truly out of the gas, saving some tires, or if Bruning's just that much faster in a few sectors of this almost 4-mile road course, 14 corners, so long straightaways. Drivers able to utilize a little bit of a slipstream, so not quite sure if that's how Bruning is staying in touch, but nonetheless, he is doing so. We'll cross the line this time around with just 3 to go. Half a second advantage for race leader George Sandman. Great battle here for the top spot. Your only battle for position on track, as Sandman has kept the race lead all night long. Started from pole position, has led every single lap here tonight from Road America, and he is looking to cap off another road course win right here from Road America. You're watching the Wisconsin Grand Prix. A few big names, a few regulars having trouble here tonight. Chris Brown with some issues, but the 37 able to continue on. He'll pick up the 7th position. Johnny Hamby down and out of tonight's race. Neil Koenig having issues as well. Koenig going to be out of the race for quite some time, but how about the trouble striking that too? Boston Dabs had an early exit here tonight, but nobody going to be ready to load the hauler before Stuart Wright. Trouble with the power unit kept him from starting tonight's race, and we are less than 8 miles of green flag racing remaining here tonight from Road America, nestled just outside of Elkhart Lake, beautiful Wisconsin. But a big shout out to all of my Wisconsin natives. I don't know if you're out there watching or not, but Tiny Horse, you continue to do your racing thing in real life, and we'll continue to shout you out and support you. Great driver, great individual. Always a pleasure when we get to catch up with Ryan Johnson. We look forward to trying to catch in and up with Ryan in the next few weeks, see how his racing is going in the real world. We'll have a little bit of a report for you on that. But first, we've got to finish things off here from Road America tonight. The Wisconsin Grand Prix coming into the final 4 miles of racing here tonight. What a race for Sandman front of the field. George Sandman absolutely dominating here tonight. And here we go, race fans, back up the hill, crossing the line for the final time. White flag flies, final lap in the Wisconsin Grand Prix here from Road America. Marcellus Bruning sitting in second, half a second behind your race leader. Can he close in? Will he be close enough to make a move? It's one thing to close in on the gearbox, but another to be able to throw it into the corner for a race winning. So on the final lap, how good could that be? Deep in the corner, downhill section here. Bruning going to close in a little, but on the gas first is Sandman. He'll rip those tents back away. Back over, back through turn number 5. Turn number 6 coming at you here very shortly. And oh man, this is shaping up to possibly be a pretty good one at the end. Oh my. Hamlink with late race troubles. He's going to lose a ton of ground here. Hamlink loses a spot to Bill Smitham. Going to grab it back here. Now Smitham with an off-track moment. Oh my goodness. A lot of action near the rear of the field. Hamlink now well and gone. As your closest battle remains the battle for the top spot up the hill for the final time. We're going to cross the line and we're going to crown a champion in the Wisconsin Grand Prix. The boss man of the flag stand going to wave the checkered flag, and George Sandman walks away with the checkered flag, winning yet again here, dominating at the road course. He led every single lap, walked away with the pole position as well. So just about max pointing here tonight from Road American. What a run, what a race here tonight. Hot race fans, glad you could all join us, glad you could all watch here tonight with me on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Glad you're joining us, whether it's over here on the YouTube side of things or if you're checking in on Twitch. We do appreciate each and every one of you stopping by. So if you're over on the Twitch side, give these drivers a follow, and hey, who knows, even drop a subscribe in there if you would like. But over here on the YouTube side of things, I'm going to give a big shout out to everybody joining us here for race number 6 as we get ready to head to the front stretch and give the fans in the stands a photo opportunity. Walking away with the race win is the Texaco Havoline Dirt Devil Big K 06 of George Sandman. And as we already said, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you've enjoyed all the open wheel action here from the 14 corner road course. That is Road America. You're watching your race leader, George Sandman, on his flying cool-down lap. Doesn't look like much of a cool-down lap. He still looks up to speed, but job well done here tonight for the man inside of that machine right there. So as he brings it back around to victory lane, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break, pay a few of the sponsors, pay a few bills. You know how that goes. But don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with all your post-race interviews live here from Road America. And has promised back live trackside after a few sponsored commercials. We're ready to roll into your post-race interviews. Let's see if we can catch a few words with one of your podium drivers here tonight, walking away with third place inside of his number 7 Lotus 79 machine. Rick, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Got a copy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I thought we already went through this.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
I thought we did. Yeah, I mean, it's all good. You know, how you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
You know, can't complain.
That's good.
Great run for you here tonight. I believe this is going to be our first chance talking to you in these post-race interviews, but not your first podium here this season. So first and foremost, we want to congratulate you on your earlier podium finish this season. But a good run for you here tonight from Road America. This is a long, grueling course, almost 4 miles, 14 corners, long straightaways, a lot of opportunity to overstep the braking zones, especially in those downhill elevation changes. So, how'd you work your way around the track, and how did you navigate this long, grueling race here tonight?
With kid gloves, really. Uh, White knuckle all the way. These Lotus 79s are just, they're bouncy and spongy and springy and loose, and you're on a fine edge the whole race. By the way, I just want to say it wasn't just a podium in my first race; it was a victory, baby, and in the biggest race in the world, the Indianapolis 500. So very proud of that.
The world's mecca of racing here. Well, a lot of people want to call Daytona that, but I think personally, I think it is
Nah,
Indy. You know, they had races at Indy way before Daytona was ever even thought about or conceived.
1911, baby, the greatest spectacle in racing. Nothing takes the place of an Indianapolis 500 victory. They
Absolutely,
could talk about
absolutely.
MotoGP and Formula One and the Brickyard. I'm an Indy winner. I'm an Indy winner. No, 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 no. You're an Indianapolis 500 champion. That says something, baby.
Yeah, and I mean, for those of you that don't know, you better Google it or something. Look at the size of that trophy. For you to be included on a trophy of that magnitude and size is just unfathomable, kind of life changing. Well, it is life changing, as you already mentioned. I mean, you forever get to be called an Indianapolis 500
That's
champion.
right. I touched that trophy yesterday. I was at the Speedway Museum. I live 8 miles from the track here in
Heck yeah,
Indianapolis.
that is. Well, you know what? I might have to come visit you.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. We got a nice spare room for you.
All right. Well,
Guest room.
don't be surprised if I take you up on the offer. But back to the task at hand. I mean, uh, another road course in our back pocket now. We're going to get back to oval racing. Do you think you can carry any momentum from this finish into next week?
Um, I honestly, I really don't know. I'm not really all that familiar with these Lotus 79s. I obviously have a lot of getting used to them. George Sandman, he's just brilliant in any race car. He was on rails tonight. Marcellus was amazing. Hamby was on fire, and it was all I could do to stay with them in the draft. But once the car started getting loose, and that's the thing I really have to figure out is my car seems to go loose, and I was kind of babying it too. I wasn't getting on the throttle too early. I was taking it easy on the tires, and then all of a sudden I was getting loose, and those guys just drove away. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? There's something that I'm missing here, but hopefully we'll get that figured out, and we'll be contenders again.
Well, I'm sure you will get it figured out. I mean, you've been fast throughout the season. As you said, already walked away with the checkered flag there for the Indianapolis 100 here in the
Yeah,
iSlash
baby.
Retro Kart League, walking away with another podium. So, I mean, big things still yet to come. Big things still yet to be had for you and your seven crew. So, before we let you go here tonight, Rick, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
um, I want to thank Roger Penske. Why, I don't know. I just love him. Um, I want to thank Marcellus for putting on this league. The 79s are a challenge, but they're a lot of fun. It's reminiscent of, and that's why they say, they call it cart. Hopefully, there's no license infringement or anything like that because I think that's awesome. It's reminiscent of the early cart days, and as you can see, the paint schemes on these race cars are retro paint schemes, which I love. I just saw Danny Sullivan's Miller car, the gold and white, which was beautiful. I love to see that in the field and all the cars, really. But thanks to you guys, for broadcasting the race. Thanks to all the drivers; they're very courteous. One thing I learned in only 2 races in this league is these guys are courteous. They see you coming up, they know that you're a faster car. They're not. I haven't. Nobody fought me. I hear other drivers, the leaders are saying thank you to so and so, thank you, thank you. A lot of courtesy here, so I just want to say thanks to the drivers for being class acts out there. I would do the same, if I was a lap car and somebody's coming up on me. So that's a great way to race. It's a gentleman's league. I'm just happy to be here. I want to congratulate George. He did a fantastic job. That guy is so hard to beat on a road course. I'm looking forward to seeing him and Marcellus and Johnny Hamby go at it. Uh, you know, throughout the season on these road courses. And hopefully, if we learn how to deal with these Lotus 79s, maybe we can hang with them. I don't know. We'll see. And last but not least, thank you to the Lord Jesus. I love you, Lord Jesus. Thank you so much for dying for me and giving me the life that I have. Thank you, Jesus.
All right, well, Rick, I'm sure with some seat time, you'll get the slippery rear end of these cars figured out. I can
Hopefully.
promise you that. Yeah, I know you got the talent behind the wheel. So again,
Thank
congratulations on
you.
the podium here tonight, and we'll try to catch up with you here in these next few weeks.
Thank you very much, my friend. Looking forward to it. Take care now.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words for the man that walked away third inside of his Lotus 79. Rick's going to take that final spot on the podium, and that's going to move us right along into the running order. Let's see if we can catch up and have a few words with the man that walked away in second here tonight. Let's see if we can't dial up the man inside of that 61 machine. Let's see if we can get a word or two with Marcellus Bruni. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I got you now. I can hear you now. How you doing? How you feeling after another solid finish for you and your entire crew? I mean, a lot of racing here at Road America. 4 miles around this 14-corner track. How were you able to manage? How were you able to kind of stay in touch, stay in tow, right where you needed to be to walk away with yet another podium finish?
Well, Dave, I think in the beginning I was pretty much giving it all I had to stay with him, and as long as I kept it within that second, the draft on the long straights would definitely help me. I was noticing that compared to Johnny Hamby and some of those really tight turns, I was breaking in a little bit deeper, so that kept me where I needed to be until I made a few small mistakes and I kind of lost a little bit more than a second right before the pit stop. My pit stop, I came back about, I think, 2.5 seconds behind Johnny. And that's from that moment on, I just kind of went for safe and decided, you know what, I'd rather have a podium finish than nothing at all. And then I got lucky when Johnny and George touched there in the first turn. I just got lucky and I played it safe on second place. For a while, I was catching up with George and I was kind of thinking maybe he have damage, but then he would pull away again. So I kind of figured, let's just go for second and leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean the strategy to kind of play it safe may have really I don't want to say saved your race, but definitely came into factor a little bit. You seen the contact in the exchange of the tire taps between those top two drivers going at it down into turn number one. So as you seen that, as you already mentioned, you thought he might have had a little bit of damage. Were you surprised that he was able to kind of pull away a little bit and then you'd reel him in, then he'd step away a little bit again? Were you surprised that he still had that much pace after the contact?
No, not really. These cars, a little bit, the wheel banging, and if you don't overdo it, these cars can handle some wheel banging. What basically always turns you in is hitting a wall or something like that. But yeah, I wasn't too. I didn't think he'd had. As soon as he started pulling away again, I knew that he was fine, and he was just controlling it, trying to save his own pace, obviously, and making sure he wasn't making any mistakes. So I think he was in control, and I'm like I said, I had nothing for him. He was just faster.
Well, Marcellus, another great race for you and your 61 crew. Another podium finish for you. That's going to keep you alive in those point standings as we're just over the halfway point. What's your outlook on the final few races of the season? Do you think you're going to be able to reel in that second season championship?
It's going to be really hard, Dave. I think Johnny was very unlucky today, but he's very fast. He's really learning fast on the ovals. He's always very very competitive on the road courses. And I mean George and Rick both new to the series this season, but they look to be very fast guys. And I was actually kind of surprised that Rick didn't stay with me the way he could the first few laps. But I did, I still think those guys are going to be fast on any track they race at. So it's going to be a tall order for me this time.
Well, we respect the honesty right there, Mark. So before we let you go and celebrate your latest podium finish, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Same as always, Dave. Thank you for doing the broadcast. We like your broadcast. You put on a great show for us. I want to thank iSplash for coming on board as a season sponsor, or the series sponsor, I should say, and obviously everybody for showing up. And I hope to see you all again in a week.
All right. Well, always a pleasure, Marcellus. So we'll see if we can't talk to you again in these post race interviews when we hit the track next week.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words for the man inside of the Blonde Bullet, a double B 61 machine. Marcellus Brooding walks away with yet another podium finish, setting himself up pretty nice in the point standings. Not much of a gap coming into tonight's race, but still building towards defending that season championship. Marcellus Bruning is your reigning defending series champion, so we'll see if he can get back to victory lane once again. And speaking of victory lane, we're going to head straight to victory lane now for his second checkered flag on the season. The newcomer making waves inside of that Texaco Javelin Big K06. George, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yeah, Dave, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I got to win. I feel a little bad though. I kind of gave Johnny a little bump there in the first corner. I tried to hold the inside and it just wiggled a little, and I feel really bad. I kind of tried to slow down and I was going to let him have it back, but I heard he went off and flipped and. Uh,
Yeah, I'll play a little devil's advocate here. I'll be the bearer of bad news. That little bit of contact there, yeah, it kind of sent him off track, and he went for a little bit of a tumble and a roll. But we got a thumbs up from the safety workers and everybody down in the infield care center. So he was okay. Maybe a little shaken up,
good.
maybe a little mad, but you know how that goes, George. Sometimes just contact happens, no matter how safe you try to be. Were you surprised, though? I want to talk about the green flag pit cycle. Johnny came to pit road about a lap before you, or a full lap before you, I should say. You were able to step out to a 2-second advantage. Were you surprised that he was able to reel you in the course of just about 3 laps till right before that incident into turn 1?
Yeah, my outlap felt really bad. It just was slipping and sliding all over the place. So I did see I pulled out with about a 2.5 second lead, and it was down under a second by the end of the lap. So I really lost a lot of time there. Um, I don't know if Johnny changed tires. I didn't, and then figured they'd be nice and warm, but they just seemed really slippery on the outlap.
All right, so there we go. We were. I wasn't expecting to hear that you didn't take no tires either, but hey, I mean, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. And see, that's why I'm in the booth and not on a pit box and not crew chiefing anymore, because I just struggle with making those big decisions like that, especially when I'm not behind the wheel. But George, want to talk to you here. This is going to be your second checkered flag on the season, setting yourself up for a great debut season here with the Ice Splash Retro Kart Series. Looking forward, we've got ourselves about, I do believe, 5 more races remaining in the season. Do you think you might have a chance to string a few of these podiums together and possibly walk away or walk into the final race with a shot at a championship trophy?
I'm not planning on it. I mean, I know I'm behind. I just want to do the best that I can. If I can win some races, I'll win. I'll try. I want to make sure I try to make the rest of the ovals, but we'll see. I'll give it my best.
All right, man. Well, we'll have to see how it goes. Before we let you go here and celebrate your second win with all the fans, we do appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here for a brief moment. But before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the night, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back at the shop or back at home?
Yeah, no, thank you for putting on a great broadcast. Thank my family for putting up with my sim racing, and thank this league for existing. Mark set it up real nice, and it'd be these cars are just a blast to drive. Um, just just fun.
All right. Well, always a pleasure to catch up with you in these post race interviews, George. So, again, congratulations on your second win, becoming the second driver with 2 wins this season. So, you're in a league with just one other man. We'll see if you can separate yourself over the course of the next few weeks. But until then, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Will do. Thank you much.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man with the plan. Walked away with his second win of the season inside of the Texaco Havoline Dirt Devil. Big K06, that's gonna be George Sandman. Win number 2 on the season. What a run here tonight from Road America. All the fans in Elkhart Lake getting a great display of road course racing. These open wheel machines putting on a show week in, week out. Congratulations to your race winner, your podium drivers as well. And it seems that producers indeed hitting those buttons. You hear the sounds begin to roll. You know the tunes. You know it's time for us to run down the unofficial race results here in the Wisconsin Grand Prix. Walking away with the checkered flag in hand, your race winner, George Sandman. Marcellus Bruning going to work his way to second here tonight, with Rick Raven finishing out your top 3. Darrell Weininger comes home in 4th. Christopher Hamling 5th, and 6th tonight belongs to the 55 of Bill Smitham. 37 of Chris Brown going to walk away 7th tonight. Jason Crumley going to park his 83 machine in the 8th position. Unfortunately, late race troubles relegate the 15 of Johnny Hamby out of a podium position back to 9th. Neil Canning back in 11th. Austin Dabbs and Stuart Wright round out the 12-car field here for tonight's Wisconsin Grand Prix with the Eye Splash Retro Kart Series. What a race, what a run. Before we head away and cut off the lights, we gotta remind you once again to join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love and drop that thumbs up. Click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. So with that being said, we're going to get ready to wrap it up here tonight. Stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.